All right, so we also had, as soon as I unfreeze, we also had another fighter who we were looking to provide us with a vintage performance, and this was Adrien Broner, who fought the fighting lawyer Hutchinson this weekend. And even though this fight was fought at welterweight, Broner is looking to campaign at 140 pounds, and we know this by essentially the call outs that he and Don King had after the fight. Some of the names that popped up were Ryan Garcia, Rollie Romero, but this gives us an opportunity to kind of foray into the 140-pound weight division and look at the current landscape. So I think we can acknowledge that Teofimo Lopez is going to be recognized as the man at that weight division, even though there is some of you who probably would argue that it would be Regis Prograis, and I would definitely argue against that point. Because
Really?
yeah, because Josh Taylor beat Regis, and then Josh Taylor never lost his belt. He was considered, he got stripped of his belt because of sanctioned body politics. He was the Ring Magazine champion and the lineal champion. So if you beat that guy, you should be recognized as that person at that weight division.
Now, let me ask you this. Who would you pick right now? Sabril Matias, Teofimo Lopez? Who would you pick in that fight?
Saburo Matisse and Teofimo. I mean, the only person that I would favor over Lopez right now, based on that performance, is maybe Regis, and it'll be a pick 'em, maybe like one,
All right.
you know, like Teofimo plus 135 underdog. But
Okay.
I've been fooled by before. I was one who argued that currently, well, that Teofimo Lopez was the best father son kind of duo currently, and that it's debatable. It's up in there, but I'm sure the Haneys will have something to say about that. But so let's kind of jump into this. Right now we have a very splintered weight division at 140 pounds. All right. So we have belts by Teofimo Lopez, Regis Prograis, and who else is holding belts at that weight division?
At 140, it's Regis,
Mateus.
Matias.
Matias, yes,
And you
Sabril
got that
Matias.
weird Albert Puello Romero situation. So according to Boxing
Yeah.
Scene, Puello is now is the Reggie belt holder, and Rolando Romero is the super
Oh
champ.
yeah,
So
okay.
Ooh.
That's so that's
Did
so
they ever was Puello the one that popped hot?
yes,
Did they ever figure that out?
not
yeah,
that I am
figured
aware
that
of,
he
and I'm sure they never will.
well, no, he's what is like what's one of the biggest he popped hot and he lost his belt because of that, right?
Well, no, he didn't. He got
Well, I would
demoted.
say that he got demoted, I guess, but
He's still a belt holder. He ain't ranked in none of the other sanctioning bodies. He hasn't lost any kind of position. They just flip flopped. Him and Rollie flip flop. So
we hold on. So I heard right. So Teofimo got the WBO, right?
yeah.
Matias got the IBF.
and
Yes.
yeah,
Prograis.
Progress is WBC.
WBC.
WBC,
Yep.
which is
All
usually
right.
one of the favorite belts. Which is ironic. But the Ring Magazine belt also is with Teofimo. So
Gotcha.
So let's jump into this conversation about the 140 landscape. Who do we see as the future of this weight division? Are we looking at a Ryan Garcia? We'll start with you, Boston. Ryan Garcia, a kind of a wavering Teofimo Lopez, or maybe it's Devin Haney who might be coming up, or maybe the old hat of the weight division, Adrien Broner, can make some noise. But who do you see in the next couple of years taking over this division?
Man, the next couple of years, I don't know that I can answer that because I have not seen this kid Arnold Barboza fight yet, and I keep on hearing a lot about him. I also have not seen much of Zepeda, and I don't know what Shakur is going to do in the next couple of years. So, forecasting a couple of years out, that's going to be tough for me. Over the next year, I see Regis Prograis cleaning house. If he has the ability to get fights with these guys, I mean, he stops Rollie. I think he stops Teofimo Lopez. And the Matias fight is one of them. I have to go back and watch a little bit more Subriel Matias. But that is out of all the belt holders right now, that to me is going to be the biggest challenge to Regis Prograis. So a couple of years, I don't know. A lot can happen in this division in the next couple of years. I was listening to one YouTube personality today who claimed that as of Saturday, Devin Haney was vacating his 135-pound belts and moving up to 140. So if Devin Haney enters the fray, that changes things. So
can he challenge for
yes,
Teofimo's belt?
For that via the WBO clause, he can move right up and fight Teofimo for his belt.
Yeah,
which will be interesting if we see that happen.
One thing, I mean, I don't know why we kind of talk about Jose Zepeda, right? So this guy was stopped by Regis Prograis. He's somebody who has I don't.
Is that the same guy? I thought there were multiple Zepedas.
I thought you said Jose Ramirez.
No, he said.
I don't know. I said Zepeda.
I
apologize then. Okay.
That's the same.
You're right. That was the same as Zepeda. Yeah. So disregard that. So not Zepeda, but definitely Barboza, right? Barboza is a guy that people talk about a lot. I've had a chance to watch him fight. So disregard the Zepeda. Strike that from the record.
Well, for me, I mean, maybe Adrien Broner is going to campaign 140 pounds. I don't think he's going to be effective. His head looked like a balloon when he made 147 pounds, and then to drop 7 more pounds and to be effective. We haven't even talked about his lackluster performance this past weekend. But these are young. We're talking about guys who are 25 and younger. When we throw out names, well, except for Tank, Tank's the oldest of that bunch. He's 27, but pretty much unmarked. And then you have Teofimo Lopez, a Devin Haney, people like Ryan Garcia. That looks like a murderer's row for somebody like an Adrien Broner, who's not very active, and is not as technically sharp as he used to be in his younger days. So I think we want to throw him out of the mix. I think Ryan Garcia, his veneer is gonna start to wear off as he get into these tougher matches with the upper echelon. So I think it's gonna come down to 2 people, maybe 3. Well, I want to give Teofimo Lopez props, but I'm just not sure. He's tired. He's retired, semi-retired. I don't really know. But I think that Devin Haney can find a path for domination at his weight division. But eventually, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be at that weight division. He's already held a belt at that weight division. And this doesn't include somebody like a Shakur Stevenson. But I think that a lot of people will kind of go ahead and let him have that lightweight division, and then they'll just kind of campaign at super lightweight. But that's why I think that a most likely outcome is maybe a fight between Devin Haney and Tank Davis.
At 140 pounds, huh?
At 140.
And if you had to project out, when do you think that fight, if everything goes according to plan for both fighters, when are you projecting that fight to be?
I'm looking at the fall of 24. We need to let Tank Davis get out of incarceration.
Free Tank.
So free Tank. So
first things first for Tank, right?
Yeah, first thing first. So they'll both have a fight in between their I can see Devin Haney vacating, and also Tank doing the same thing. They'll let Shakur Stevenson have that lightweight division, and then in the fall of 24, I could see them. So what, Tank will be 28, 29. Devin Haney will be like 24. I mean, if we get that fight at that time, I mean, that's just the boxing gods just really putting us in favor.
Yeah, there's a lot of if Devin Haney's power does not change, if he still has the same type of power at 140 as he did at 135 pounds, he's gonna get walked down and stopped by some of these bigger, stronger guys, man. I mean, this over the next couple of years can be the 140-pound division can be what 154-pound was at his height, maybe
Absolutely.
2 years ago, where it was Charlo and Hurd and Harrison and all those guys, Terrell Gachet, Gallimore.
I think it'd be way better. I think because
yes,
because out of them, like, those were good competent fighters, but I think that there's possibly 3 or 4 potential Hall of Famers that will be up in that weight division. When you think about Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, Devin Haney,
don't forget Keyshawn Davis too. You got Keyshawn Davis still out there. Keyshawn Davis is a 135er, but there's no way he can continue to make that weight.
Exactly.
And I think Keyshawn clears out of that division. This is probably the last. I see a couple more fights for Keyshawn at 135.
Yeah, how many times has he fought at 135 though? Like a lot of his fights been like a little bit heavy. He says he fights at 135, but the fights he actually takes, he's like 137.
If they're not title fights, it's just a lot of times it's just why am I gonna just kind of go there? I'm gonna just be comfortable. It's not anything. He's young, and he won't have any problem making 135.
Yeah, man. So one thing,
but the question. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Randy.
One thing I think about at the 140 division, I just see the politics, man. I see like the glamour guys is the Rollie and Ryan Garcia. Those are those.
Why do you keep bringing his name up? Like, you are
man, dude.
The glamour guy.
Tickets.
Yo, what's his best win? What's his best win?
Oh, the one that got him a damn belt?
No, it's probably Jackson Martinez. It's Jackson Martinez.
He got a belt, bro. He got a belt.
Yeah,
so don't disrespect. No, you gotta put some respect
on
his
name. I'm disrespecting him all the way.
But anyway, hold on. You made me lose
2
my
fights
point.
ago.
So my point is, I think that's the next fight. I think Ryan is going to be a fight coming up shortly. And then after that, man, I don't see either one of those guys win. I don't see them going against any of the other 140 champions.
Those guys. It's a reason I didn't mention them. They're not relevant, man. They're just.
But it's the belt, though. I'm talking because of the belt. So there's no chance of unification because these guys. Think about it. You think Oscar De La Hoya is going to put his cash cow in with Prograis or Matias?
I mean, if he wants a belt, he's gonna have to put him in there.
If he wants to be relevant,
if Ryan Garcia beats Rollie and has the belt, do you think De La Hoya, who's managed Munguia, who's 41-0, is going to put him in with Regis Prograis?
Remember, De La Hoya is just a promoter, right? He's a promoter that needs his fights to be shown on a network. So if somebody from DAZN goes to Oscar and says, hey, we're tired of watching Ryan Garcia, we're tired of paying Ryan Garcia millions of dollars to fight tomato cans, make a big fight, Oscar gonna have to make a big fight. The same way Top Rank.
I don't see that happening with Ryan. I don't see that happening.
They can just shut him out, man. We can see. I think when we talk about who's clearly the person I mean, if you want to hold the belt for hostage and sit over there to
I think that WBA, you could go ahead and sit that on the shelf somewhere because
it's fine. They'll do that. He'll be like the new Arturo Gatti. He'll go and fight these BS mandatory that nobody cares about, and then until he really fights somebody who is of legitimate status, which Arturo Gatti did when he fought Mayweather, and when they get exposed. But as far as recognizing who's the best at 140, I don't, beating somebody like Rolly Romero or beating a Ryan Garcia, that's not going to hold weight within the boxing community. I don't think.
A real boxing community, but man,
that's
you
right.
know how many people
you are representing for the casual ones.
No, I ain't representing. I'm just saying, like I read the chats and I read the damn groups, man.
Really? Because
boys
like
believe in Ryan.
No, Ryan Garcia knows how to just stay in the tabloids, within the digital tabloids or whatnot. Whether it's like finding him a new trainer, which that was a great call by the
No, that was a great call.
Coach, you know what I'm saying, I give props on that. Or complaining about Golden Boy not being there for him. This dude is like made for this era, but it doesn't mean that he's not gonna control nothing in boxing, around there. But let's bring in Coach, though we haven't heard from him. 140 supremacy within the next year or two.
Okay, if Devin Haney is in that division, man, it's gonna be Devin Haney. Put it to you that way, and so like right now, out of all the current champions, Teofimo, Matias, Romero, and Prograis, I probably put Prograis, Matias, and Teofimo, then Rollie. And I wish all four of them jokers out of them four. I think Prograis might rise to it between Prograis and Teofimo, to be honest with you, man. But if Devin Haney moves up to 140, all right, let me be crystal clear, he gonna give a lot of those guys the business. And then to answer Jared's Boston Jay's question, I want you to go and definitely check out this Barbosa guy, man. Hey, listen, he works hard. He outworked Jose Pedraza, Zorilla, or whoever else. He works hard. But when you see this cat squares up, he swings wide, wild, a nice straight
Bills
punch.
Pay the bills.
A nice and what I'm telling you is that he works hard, but there's a lot of skill set and opens to this cat to where you can go back and take a look at his box rec. Ain't a whole lot of dangerous stuff up there as you talk about strength of competition. Haney will clean this division, is what I'm just flat out saying, man. Ryan Garcia get in there all he want to, bruh. Ryan Garcia could lose to Ryan Garcia could lose to this cat.
Barbosa?
Yeah, no. the Barbosa guy you're talking about. Yeah. This joker could got a solid chance at beating Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Just out of his sheer work effort. So I honestly, dude, I just say, as somebody had mentioned, we don't know what Shakur is gonna do. Anywhere between 135 and up to 140, if Shakur, Haney, Tank float up, those are the top names that's going to be in that division, man. And so we know Haney is definitely going. I think I heard somebody say, right. So
apparently, that's rumored right now. That's rumored.
Oh, okay. So without Haney being up in there, be honest with you, I think Prograis and a focused Teofimo could really hurt this division, bro. Out of all the guys that I've seen, work in this division. If Haney comes in, Haney, hands down, man.
Dave, let me ask you: have you seen much of Richardson Hitchens?
Not a lot, bro.
Okay,
but I can go. What's his last name again?
Hitchens, Haitian kid out of Brooklyn, Richardson Hitchens.
I'll go check him out. But the
What
Barbosa.
about? Go ahead, finish, Dave.
Yeah, that's why I want you to check this kid out.
Is Arnold Barboza? All right.
Yeah,
what about the Russell brother? Where do we see? How does Antoine?
that's the sleeping one, man. You know what I'm saying? I loved him in the amateurs, man. And you know, I had got a little time in that camp. I'm gonna go back and have to check him out and watch him, man. But that's the one that where I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I'm gonna have to go back and watch him and see what he's been doing with his 16, 17 fights, man. But I like the kid, man. I do like the kid. But from what I know of thus far, I don't think he beats Haney, and I think Pedrosa gives him a lot of trouble, man.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean, gives him a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So let's move on to a segue. We're gonna move up a couple of weight divisions and move into our last segment for the night.